Good morning, everybody. We are back. It is the right side of campus, and we are live here on a Tuesday, August 28th, 2018. It's here, everybody. Football is upon us. College football has already gotten started. We get to the official week 1 start on Thursday, Labor Day weekend, everything going on. Summer's about over. I'm still living it up, but summer's about over. We'll be getting to the end of that, and we're going to start a new season, which we're all excited about here at SBR. It's football season, college football, NFL. We'll talk about all that and more. I'm the big man on campus. I'm riding solo today. Donnie Rightside still out in Vegas with his wife, enjoying some time. So we'll get you through the next few days here. Maybe we'll have a guest. I don't know how we'll do it. We'll just kind of figure it out. But today, just going to kind of recap the IFBC, talk about some highs, some great times we had out there out in Vegas. So many great people. And I really want to get out, get all the stuff out of the way, and then we'll get into it. But welcome in. Make sure you're hitting the like button. It's a great way to kind of get the show out there to people and to kind of show SBR how the show is doing on each day. Also, retweet the show if you're on Twitter. All of you have Twitter. Okay, I know all of you have it. I talked to you on there. Make sure you're retweeting the show. That's the way to get it out to people. People come up to me, Jeff, love the show. Thank you. Hit the retweet button. It's a great way to get it out there to people. So make sure you check that out. I'll get into the chat here in 1 second. Just gotta kind of take care of some business here, and we'll get the show going. We'll kind of just rock today. I mean, we'll just chat a little IFBC. There's some soccer on the card. We'll take some questions. We'll even talk about some Thursday college football as well. So we'll try to get through that way. I have a busy day here. I got to do some soccer stuff. I got to do a show later, I believe. So a lot going on. Steve, Matt, Hal, Mikey D, Ayusha, Troy, Donnie. There's Donnie. Donnie checking in. Donnie somewhere. It's very early out in the West Coast, 7 o'clock in the morning. But Donnie doing his thing. Who do you like to win the MAAC this season? Ooh, wow. I like Ryder. I think Ryder's a team to look out for. Stevie Jordan back for Kevin Baggett. Ryder has to find a way to defend, but I like Ryder a little bit. Basketball is coming. Let's not try to jump too quick, but I like Ryder. They're a team I'm looking at as the season gets going. Yeah, the TV's on, man. I don't know what's on. I just have it on. Um, yeah, Wally George. Let's get into that IBC. It was what a great time it was. You really gotta talk and kind of relish in SBR and what they were able to do out there. It was quite an amazing time. You always kind of are skeptical because it's the new thing. You're going out, and look, I've worked for SBR for 4 years now. This will be my fourth year doing videos for them, and I've never really met anyone. I've never met Zach. I've never met Deb. Never met some of the producers. I never met Peter Loshak. So, all that was new, and it was so welcoming. You get out there, and it was held at the Golden Nugget. I've never been to Vegas. You get out of the airport, it's hot as balls. Get into the taxi, take you over to the Golden Nugget. It was easy, seamless. You check right in, room. You get up there, you freshen up a little bit. I had some something to eat here, and then we get down to the little meet and greet. And you meet everybody. You meet Gabe Morency. You meet Ed Fang, Drew, all the people, everybody that you meet, you're just so kind, so nice, and then you meet the people that watch the shows. People coming up to you, hey, big man, I love the show, and you know what was crazy? People were even coming up to me that I've had an issue with, like got Vitalis, for instance. I don't know if Vitalis is on the show. Vitalis was hilarious. Like he was really funny in person, and he says to me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I was just breaking your balls the whole time." But it's like the internet. That's what the internet does. It feeds off like this. You don't really know if someone's sarcastic. Vitalis was like everything he said, he would like laugh. It was like it was kind of like everything was funny. So it's like I wish I would have known that. I wouldn't have been so serious with Vitalis. But people were saying to me, "Big man, you're way nicer in person." Well, I'm not. It's not that I'm not nice. I just try to convey a certain way, and I try to be, kind of. I don't know. If you say something dumb, I'm going to respond, but I try to be equal to everybody. Big man Donnie, I'm proud. I'm a new father of a baby girl. Oh, congrats, man. Good for you, Nick. Congratulations. You and Donnie can talk stories now. He has a daughter himself, so um, that's uh, that's great. Good for you, man. Happy to hear it. Little E checking in, Troy V, Matt Varnum, everybody checking in. Welcome in. But yeah, Vegas was cool. I mean, the sportsbook was awesome. It was right near where we were all like, congregating. So Saturday I spoke and did my thing. Uh, you know, that was great. All the people on the panel, Loshak, Jolisi, Drew Martin. It was weird though because it was way different because you're behind the camera here. It's a lot easier. Um, there, the light was right in your face. You couldn't really fix up. Um, and where we were sitting, the camera was literally right in your face. The lights were right in your face. So, um, it was tough, but the panel went well. Lisi obviously knows his stuff. Peter was seamless. We took some questions. It was fun, and I'll get into a little college football here in a little bit. Um, Brick City Matthew, what's up? Met you out there. Great chatting with Brick City Matthew. I was sitting with him at the banquet. Which, by the way, Friday night you had the little mixer. We met everybody. It was a very cool meeting. Natalie for the first time. Natalie, what a beautiful woman. What a great woman in person. Just a really welcoming lady. We did some social media. I mean, when you think of literally going somewhere and you think you're gonna meet all these new people, it was terrific. Everybody was nice. I don't think I met one person that I was like, wow, I don't like that person. You know. Um, Friday night we had the little mixer. We chatted about with everyone. I met Teddy Covers. Who else? Ian Cameron. Finally, me, Ian Cameron. My long lost Ian Cameron, who has turned into a great friend of mine over the last year or two. It was great seeing him. Just hilarious guy. Said a lot of funny shit in person. And then Saturday I spoke, did all that stuff. Conference was awesome. Whitlock and Clay were great. Chatted with them. They were cool. Then Saturday night we had the poker tournament, which I got to like the final two tables and got knocked out. And I'm not going to talk about how I got knocked out because it was really ugly. I had pocket kings. I had a nice stack too. I had pocket kings. I woke up with kings. I pumped it up. Some kid calls me. Or matter of fact, I think he re-raised me, and then I literally shoved. I was like, you know what? I have kings. I mean, if I'm against aces here, I didn't think I was against aces. Kid calls me with ace jack. Ace jack. Flop comes out clean, but there was a straight card for him. Turn, another straight card for him. And I'm thinking, just don't put a fucking two out there. Put a two out there. And I get knocked out. Runner straight. I get knocked out. He hit the wheel on the river. Uh, what are you going to do? But my man Walter Trotter won the tournament. So he bagged that. Welcome, good job, Walter Trotter. Nice little 2G prize. Good for him. I know his wife was there. I'm sure they were happy about that. So congrats to Walter Trotter for winning the poker tournament. Walter Trotter, what a great guy, by the way. A lot taller in person than I thought. Great guy from LA. Him and his boy DJ Big Boss. They were good guys. They were always around hanging out. It was good stuff. Um, and then Sunday, what else did we do Saturday? Oh, Saturday we had the banquet. Really nice catered banquet. It was like a buffet, a lot of good food there. And they had a comedian, right? Bob Levy from the Howard Stern show. Now, before the conference started, or before the banquet started, I actually went outside to go to the bathroom. The bathroom was right outside the hall, and I see Levy. He's sitting there alone. So I walk up to him. I say, "Hey, Bob, I'm a big fan. I enjoyed your stuff on Howard Stern, but you blocked me on Twitter." And I'm thinking, I never had any interactions with this fucking guy. Why did he block me? And he goes, "Oh, well, I'm a Trump fan, so maybe that's why." I was like, "Well," he's like, "I blocked a lot of people." I'm like, "Well, listen, man, I'm a big fan. Can you unblock me?" Um, And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll block you." He's like, "Yeah, but I got to do some jokes." And I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna do some jokes about me. And he did. He roasted me. He roasted who else? He roasted Low Shack pretty bad. He roasted. Roasted a lot of people. Donnie was there. He saw it. He was roasting me. He roasted Ian Cameron. He roasted Seth Hagen. He roasted everybody. Everybody who was in there got roasted. The only people that didn't get roasted were Donnie, because Donnie just blends in, I guess. Um, you know, uh, he roasted me, and I took it because fuck a comedian. You laugh. Um, Howard hasn't had Bob on in years. Yeah, I wish he would. He was always funny on there. I always enjoyed him. But and then Sunday it was kind of a chill day. We watched the rest of the conference, had some fun there. Donnie spoke early in the morning. They had a bookmaker panel. You saw met Matt Holt finally, which is cool. I've talked to Matt for a while. Got a chance to meet him. And then we just kind of hung out. We watched some baseball over at the book. I met. I also want to shout out the forum guys. You know, I think at SBR sometimes there's a neglect by the listeners of the shows that we have, um, that there's a forum on this website, a forum that people are proud of. They like to talk about sports and all sorts of different things. And they were a part of the conference as well, and they were there in full force. And I it started all at the poker tournament. I kind of met some of them, and I've been in the forum. I don't post a ton, but I've been in there. I know some of the guys, and I want to shout those guys out too. They were awesome to chat with. Booyah, JJ Gold, Optional. He was at my table. Samball, he was great in helping everybody out over the weekend. Who else? I mean, all sorts of guys I met. Throughout I forget some of their names that were at the. They all gave their screen names there. They don't give their real names. A USC Philly guy, I met him as well. He's a super guy. Paco, he was a super guy. I met those guys. They were all really cool. All real cool in person. We're very welcoming and you know, mentioned they like the shows and stuff. Um, yeah, Sunday we just kind of chilled with those guys, and then watched some baseball. Then we watched that Cardinal Cowboy game, and then we went out for dinner on Sunday night. It was there were a lot of people. It was me, Ian Cameron, Brian Rowe, Millhouse, Seth Hagen, Gabe, Sonny Vega, Taylor Stevens. King Rail actually. How about that? King Rail came. King Rail actually said hello to me. And you know what's funny? King Rail we had a problem one night. He was, he had a bad night. We had a little issue, and he actually was super nice. Came up in person. He said, I really enjoy your work. He's like, I think you guys are doing some great things. And he was there with his wife. They were terrific. That's one thing about relationships I always respect. I don't have a girlfriend, so I don't do that kind of thing. But I always think it's cool to see a woman and a male, go enjoy places. They go to vacations, and they're super nice. They're supportive. You could tell they're supportive of what those guys are doing. And she was there, and Walter Trotter had his wife there. They were all super people, very nice. And he came and rode with us, him and his wife. Um, and it was funny because we got to the restaurant and there weren't enough tables for us to all sit together. We had a huge party. I think we probably had 15 people. So I ended up sitting with Mike Cardano, who was there wanting. He works at Fantasy Sports Network with Gabe. I chatted with him for a while. Gabe was there. Sonny Vegas sent us a nice dessert. It was great. It was a nice time. So I thank SBR for the hospitality. The weekend was great. Everybody was super. Um, so yeah, I hope hopefully you guys get out there next year. I would highly recommend. When you hear about it, make sure you act on it. Vegas will IFBC be in Vegas next year? I'm not sure. I was chatting with Zach. He didn't dispel on anything. It worked well there. I don't know if it would be there next year though. IFBC Atlantic City. Yeah, that would be great. I think it would be cool in the summer for sure. I think you could really make a cool tournament or a conference here because if you did it on the boardwalk, you obviously have the boardwalk there. You have the casino itself, and then you have the beach, which is right in front of it, obviously. So you have it at a place like Ocean Resort or Hard Rock or wherever. Not, no one really left. Fremont Street in our party anyway. So you have it at the Hard Rock or one of the beachfront boardwalk casinos. Everything's going to be there. Maybe have it, you know, the week before Labor Day. And then you can let people could stay longer if they want. They could stay down in Atlantic City for Labor Day or whatever they want to do. It's perfect. It's easy to get to. East Coast. Like I said, you have the beach. You have all the different towns up and down the seaboard. So yeah, I think that would be a perfect place to have it. And obviously I live here, so that would be cool as well. We'll try. We're like a presidential candidate. We'll try to get our votes in for that and see how it goes. Wally George, met him out in Vegas. Nice guy. Um, lot of comments here. Let me get to them. If you have a question, feel free to send that in. Whatever you want to talk about. Um, Jeff had the spotlight on him. Yeah, I did. And he made the jokes, which I'm a bigger guy, so he's gonna make the jokes. But you know what? He hit everybody. I mean, he was making fun of, you know, different types of people. Again, it wasn't. It was a comedian, so you kind of laugh at things, but he was graphic. I'll give him that. He didn't screw around. Um, So does Gabe roll with like 25 batteries or what? No, he didn't roll with anything. I saw him with a laptop. He had the laptop out at the meet and greet, and then he had it out Saturday. But Sunday, Gabe's a cool guy in person. He's real chill. Saturday night I was hanging with Gabe. Who else was with us? Walter Trotter, Sonny Vega, Taylor. I want to say I want to say Teddy Covers was there as well. It was a nice little group. We were hanging out out on one of the streets, and then there was a weed corner that Gabe kind of developed. It was kind of out in the back. We would go out there, and I don't smoke, but I would always go out and just chill. Be part of the crew. I don't knock anybody's hustle. If you do that, that's your thing. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to be out there chilling with you like I am doing it. So, you know, Sunday though, Gabe was real. He was real content. He didn't do much of anything. He slept a lot of the day. We had the conference, and then he went up and slept for a while. And me and Cameron went over to the book and just the book was cool. It wasn't huge, but it was cozy. We always he had the row of chairs. We just sat there and we just watched whatever was on. We chatted for a while, met some of the people. John Roy came, one of the listeners. A couple others were in the building. MVP Sports was there. Chris Edge, all those guys were there. We are just hanging out. And Gabe, I didn't see him for most of the day. And then right around when the Cardinals Cowboys got going, we met up with him and he came down. But he didn't have the computer out. He was just chilling, hanging out. I did pretty well betting too. I had what did I have this weekend? I had Wyoming, which came in. A lot of these I just bet out there first week. I had Wyoming. I took the Cardinals in baseball on Sunday. They won 12-2. Me and Cameron bet that. And then Sunday night I took the Cardinals football first half -3. They were up big. What an easy game that was. What a fun atmosphere that was too. Even for a preseason game. We had good times in there. Um yeah, I think they're going to start posting more links on the forum. That's something that I know about. But shout out to the forum guys if you're watching this. I welcome you. Um, yeah, exactly. If IFBC's an AC, you'll see big man riders jet skip. I don't. I would try, but the problem is if it's on the beach, that would be difficult. Now, if it was on the bay, let's say they do it at the Gold Nugget, Atlantic City, I could do that. I could ride up to the marina because Golden Nugget has a marina on the back bay, so I could do that. That would be funny. Only thing about Vegas books, not many props in EPL. I mean, they don't have those really anywhere though, Wally. I mean, most American books don't have those. You have to look offshore. Um, Thanks, Clayton. Appreciate that. Clayton talking about Premier League punters. Yeah, we've had a fun year with that. I actually had a good week in soccer on Saturday. I think I went 4-2. There's Walter Trotter, my man. Mark Lawrence seemed like a cool cat. He's one guy I didn't get to meet. He wasn't really around too much. I didn't meet Mark Lawrence. Um, Gabe is funny. Yeah, it was great seeing you too, Walter. You're a great guy. Always real welcoming. Everybody there was. I'm glad to have you around, man. Levy and Artie are friends now, though. Cam, they do shows together. Lot of comments coming in. Do I have any soccer picks? Says Lamont Williams. I'll get into those in a moment here. Do you think the Phillies signing Bautista is a sign of desperation? I mean, I don't know what to do. What would it be? Yeah, I mean, look, they're 3.5 games out now. Had a tough loss last night. Um, Listen, I saw the Phillies were booing Wilson Ramos, the fans last night, and I was right. I drove right by there actually, and I actually stopped and got something to eat in South Philly last night, and I was chatting with a Nationals fan there, and I heard that Phillies fans were booing Wilson Ramos for getting thrown out at third. And look, Wilson Ramos is a catcher, first of all. He's not fast. I think we're all well aware of that, but most catchers aren't. I mean, Evan Gaddis would have got thrown out. A lot of those catchers would have got thrown out. I mean, isn't Wilson Ramos hitting like 460 since he came to the Phillies? 460, and you're booing the guy. I know the energy's low down there right now. I know the fans are upset. They've hit a wall. They're not playing well. But come on, man. You can't boo Wilson Ramos. He's been one of the only players doing anything. As far as signing Bautista, I saw that late last night. I don't know how much he'll help you. I mean, he's literally been on every team in this division, it seems like. Um, I don't know. I guess he gives you some power. I don't know what he's old. I mean, he's a minor leaguer at this point, basically. He was dealing with minor league contracts. I guess hopefully they're hoping that he'll hit the fountain of youth for the final month or so of the season and give him something. Yeah, I guess it's desperation. Rise, what's up? Anyone have tennis plays? I don't bet tennis. Sorry, man. Oh right, yeah, I hit the Rice over. Forgot about that. Yeah, that what a great pick that was, wasn't it? It barely got over, but it went like I told you it would. Prairie View scored some points. Prairie View, listen, I told you on the preview. Prairie fucking View is decent. Rice should not be laying that kind of points to anyone. Same thing with Colorado State. Shouldn't be laying points to like that to anybody. A lot of these teams are not good enough to lay double digits. Who do I have in Canelo Triple G? I don't have anyone yet. But I'll probably go back to the well with Canelo Alvarez. What's up, ACS? Squan White. Clayton says Liverpool wins it all. I agree. I've said that time and time again. I think they're better defensively. I think they're just as good going forward. I think there's a changing of the guard this year in the Premier League. We need to see Liverpool though against a quality opponent. Give them Arsenal. Give them a team that's just decent. I'm not even saying against Man City. I think they could beat Man City, but better opponents. Beating Brighton, Crystal Palace, those kind of teams, not going to do much. Let's see a top 6 team. Does Mourinho make it through the season? No way. He should be fired pretty quickly. Am I still in Vegas? No, Ski Profit. We're not in Vegas. But met Ski Profit as well. He was out there with his girl as well, and I got to shout him out because he was wearing a Lonzo Ball jersey, which I have to respect. His girl was wearing a LeBron. They were matching, which, like I said, very cute. You always like seeing the woman support the male. I always like seeing that. And there were many guys out there that had their girls with them, and you got to respect that. Great guy there as well. He also came up to me and said, I give you shit sometimes, but it's because you're a Philly fan. And I said, well, let me ask you. I said, you're an LA fan. What do you expect? But I told him, I said, I'm not going to go out and say, I know the Sixers are not ready to win right now to me. So, but he was a good guy as well. All these guys are really cool. Brandon Cummings, what's up? Scott Weaver, what's up, Scott Weaver? Scott Weaver says it's Atlanta's division to win. I agree. Um, Big man, did you like the light show? I don't think I saw the light show. Can't comment on that. What gel do you use to put your hair back? I use Gots to be glued. It's a um, it's a glue type gel. Uh, it's the best. Why no line on the East Carolina game? Because they don't put those out until the day before. It's an added game. If you saw me on the conference, you'll know I like North Carolina A&T against East Carolina in the first game of the season, which we'll talk about as the week goes on. We'll get Donnie back. We'll talk some college football, and I'm about to get into that here in a moment. Yeah, I Levy busted my balls, but he's a comedian, so you let him kind of roll with his stuff. Um, Guan has Liverpool at 4-1 and Wolves at 500-1. Well, Wolves aren't winning, but Liverpool, I think, will. Um, Ryan Gosling, met him as well. Ryan Gosling, a great guy. He sat at our table at the banquet. Everyone, super nice. I see NCA&T came out at +8. What book, John? John Williams. What book was that? Interesting. If it's +8, I'm all over A&T. I love that bet. That's one of my favorite bets of the weekend. Listen, East Carolina is not good. They're one of the worst teams in the country. They have one of the worst defenses in the country. And let me tell you something. Last year, they had a quarterback, Gardner Minshew. He can move the football. They were a pretty good offense. They were going to put 20 points a game up on the board. Problem is, they don't have him anymore. He transferred to Washington State. They have a freshman quarterback, Reed Herring. I don't I don't think he's ready to go here. I just they don't get that level of athlete down there. Um, and A&T, let me tell you something about North Carolina A&T. They're going to win their conference this year. They're a top 8 team in the FCS. They're very good. They have a great defense. Lamar Reynard is a great quarterback. This is an 11-0 football team last year, people. They didn't lose a game, A&T. They were good. They're really good, the Aggies. They're always a team that does well. They have a great quarterback who can move the ball. Lamar Reynard, a lot like your Michael Vick. He's gonna great with the football, running it around. He can throw it as well. And last year, East Carolina actually lost their first game of the season as well to James Madison, another top 5 team in the FCS. I don't think I wouldn't think it's out of the question that East Carolina doesn't win a game this year. The only game I think they can win is this one and against UConn, because UConn's really bad also. But I don't know how you can go out and lay 8 points with East Carolina. I don't see it. Um, and another thing, I actually know I do a little radio spot on a radio station in Greenville, Greenville, Carolina, which is where East Carolina is. It's pirate radio. It's their radio network, and they're particularly down as well in East Carolina. They asked me about it and agreed. I don't think it's a game that you just go in and win. They're not a team that can do that. So, if John Williams, wherever that is, I would bet that myself. Um, Greg Matson, hey from Hawaii. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. Lots of soccer. Leads to beat Preston North End. Yeah, you got to watch out with EFL Cup, because EFL Cup today is in full force. EFL Cup is not a tournament many teams care about, especially Leeds United. Leeds United is a team that are just trying to rest their players. They're trying to get back healthy, but they are at home today. I think they're better than North End. The problem I have is I generally, when I look at EFL Cup, I don't bet teams on the same level. So like championship against championship, I don't bet. I'm looking for championship against League One, championship against League Two. Like Middlesbrough today is playing Rochdale. That's a game I would look at, something like that. But I'll get into that here in a moment. Um, hit the like button. Exactly. Thank you, Walt. Um, Oregon's up to 31.5. Should I jump on them, or do you think more than 4 scores is too much? Listen, I think they crush Bowling Green. I think Bowling Green struggles to get to 2 touchdowns. So therefore, you have to look at Oregon. I mean, do you think Oregon could get to 50? I think they can. 50 to 14 is a winner. 50 to 17 is a winner. Um, you just got to hope it's not 45-14, you know? I think they win by 35 or more. So yeah, I think it's probably a good one, but you're getting up there. I mean, it was 27.5 at 3 weeks ago. You got it. That's where you got to get in. It's all about sometimes numbers in college football when you're laying big ones. We be getting involved in League Cup tonight, probably. A&T money line, probably plus 300. A lot of comments coming in. Got to kind of uh, wade through them here. Let's look at some of the soccer here. Exactly, John. Good point. Oregon will. Here's what Oregon's going to want to do. They're going to want to come in. They're at home. They got their quarterback. They're going to want to put up a ton of points as possible quickly and get him out of the game. First half's a probably good play as well. I think the game's out of reach. I think at the start of the fourth quarter, it's probably like 48-7 or something. And you're hoping that it's over. Let's say you're hoping it's a 42-point game. So there's no backdoor, nothing like that. I don't think it will. Oregon's going to want to come out and just bury somebody. And I think they're going to get back to their old ways of putting games out because we've seen a lot of teams come back and stuff. It's college football. Okay. You got to make sure you put the fucking stake in a team's heart. Oregon's going to want to obviously do that. That's what they do. Their offense is going to hum. Defensively, I think they're really good. And that's one thing about Oregon we haven't always had. I don't think there's going to be an opportunity for a backdoor here. Will Thorson start a quarterback for Northwestern? I got to spend the rest of the week just kind of hampering down on who's starting. You're starting to see press conferences. Fitzgerald will come out. I don't know if we'll make that point, but we'll see. And he picks an MLB today. No, I don't really bet MLB right now. I mean, I bet it over the weekend and kind of just tailed people. Um, Mikey D just washes dishes. Congratulations, Mike. I use a dishwasher, but nothing better than a clean kitchen, right? How's your weight loss workout plan going? Workout plan's going well. I didn't eat particularly great over the weekend, but I did. I try to mix in where I could. It's tough when you're on a trip, but I did. I tried to eat enough. I tried to make sure I was not eating the wrong things. But yeah, I had fun. I did what I could. But yeah, I'm actually gonna go over to the gym after I'm done here. Big man, what are you sending out? I on the first, brother. Um, Ohio State is 38.5 over Oregon. Seems ridiculous. Yeah, that's something I talked about. That's something that you want to make aware, guys. Here's what you want to look for when you're dealing with early college football. Here's what I particularly look at. I don't necessarily lay points when you have a Power Five against another Power Five. So there you go. Ohio State, Oregon State. I don't want to particularly lay big numbers there due to the fact of I just think the level of athlete you're still getting decent athletes at Oregon State. They're not a great team, but I still think they're a team that can maybe hang. I don't like doing that. I like looking for Power Five against G5 or non-Power Five. So like an Oregon against a Bowling Green. Um, you know, um, let's say it's Penn State against Akron, something like that. I want those matchups. I don't want to lay big points with two Power Five against each other. Just don't want to do it. Not something I'm into. I don't think the talent club's that crazy. 38.5 seems like too many points. That looks like 41-7, 41-10 to me. I don't think they win by 40 plus. but it's not a game I'll be getting involved with. Um, Oshman is no bread. Yeah, and that's the king, man. I try to eat whole wheat when I do eat bread. Um, Minnesota line over New Mexico State keeps going up. Well, that's because people are looking at what Minnesota or what New Mexico State did over the weekend. Let's look at some of the Thursday games here. New Mexico State, Minnesota, big number, 20.5 on the Golden Gophers, who, let's be honest here, aren't a very good football team, but they're just like Wyoming. The only difference is I would take Vanderwall from Wyoming over any quarterback that Minnesota has. Minnesota can't get the quarterback position figured out. I mean, really, since Mitchell Eidner left, they haven't been able to figure it out. Last year was a mess. Demery Croft's gone. Now you have two, young players who have never taken a snap at this level, vying for the job. You look at last year, Minnesota, and this was with decent quarterbacks, 22 points a game, 122nd in the country throwing the football. The lack of quarterback play isn't good. There's a lack. It's not good. They abandon the air at times. That's just what they do. But here's my problem with New Mexico State. I think Minnesota can just keep it on the ground and drop them for 350 yards. I mean, look at Wyoming. Wyoming put, I think, 330 yards on the board and just ran the ball, pounded it down their fucking throat. Tanner Morgan and Vic Viramontes. Those are the two quarterbacks that Fleck has to work with here. Neither have taken a snap at this level. One's JUCO, one's a redshirt freshman. Viramontes, though, leaves in early summer. So now you literally have Morgan. He's your starter. Morgan is a redshirt freshman. Redshirt freshman, always tough. I would think they're going to lead on the run game here with Rodney Smith. Problem for them is, though, they lose Shannon Brooks, their other big bell cow running back. So now you have Rodney Smith, and you have a kid, Tyler Johnson, on the outside. You're going to hope he can give you something at receiver. Good offensive line, but they just don't have a ton of work with on offense. And when you have a team laying 21 points, you have to score the football to cover a game. If you only score 17 and the line's 21, you're not covering a game. It's very simple. I don't know if they can score a ton of points. I think it's a low-scoring game. I think it's a lot like the game the other night. I don't think it'll be as big a golf. But you look at the total here. It's only 45.5. Here's the thing about Minnesota, though. Defensively, I think they're real good. I think they're a lot like Wyoming, actually. You ask yourself, does New Mexico State have a leg up because they played? Yeah, but they didn't play well. I think they only had 60 yards. Antoine Winfield Jr., Winfield's son, plays at Minnesota. He's a terrific secondary player. It's a tough game here. To me, if I can get 21 in this game, I'd probably take New Mexico State. I just don't think Minnesota can score enough points. But they are a lot like Wyoming. If they can get capable quarterback play and run the football, they'll win pretty easily here. Because you ask yourself, can New Mexico State score either? I don't think they can. It's a tough game. It's a tough game. I think it sneaks under the total, though. I think it's like a 24-7, 24-10, something like that. I lean New Mexico State. I lean under. That's where I would go. It's not going to be a particularly fun game to watch, I don't think. We had to watch these games over the weekend because they were the only thing on. You don't have to watch this one this weekend. Look at some of the other games here. Central Florida and UConn. This is a tough spot. UCF, new coach, new defensive coordinator, new scheme on defense. I've been on record as saying I think UCF's going to struggle on defense this year. I think people are going to move the ball against them. I think UConn can. Not particularly. UConn are a bad, bad football team. Really bad. They were one of the worst defenses in the country last year. And what hurts UConn is I mean, they actually lost a player last year, their best player, Junior Joseph, um, to graduation. So, I mean, they're even worse defensive, I think, this year. They lose Rhett Lashley, he leaves. I mean, what the hell is UConn going to do in games this year? They have nothing as far as at the quarterback position, at least not really. I mean, David Pendle, I guess. Okay, okay. And look, they can score. Mike Hughes is gone. Griffin's gone. Um, I don't. I'm not running to bet this game. Like I'm not running to lay 24 points with UCF because I do think they're going to have some growing pains. This is a road game. It's a conference road game, and look, UConn's not going to just lie down. They want this game. It's a big game for that group. It's the first game of the season. I don't think this is going to be a big a blowout as people think. I think UConn are bad, but they're going to have a little pride here. And I think UCF will struggle a bit. They'll move the ball. I mean, they'll be fine, and they're going to win. But I mean, I think this game could be like, I don't know, 44-23 or something like that. Not huge on it. Northwestern, Purdue, about as big a toss-up as you can get. This one I'll not be interested in. I don't know Thorson's status at this point. It's literally a pick 'em. Money coming in on Northwestern. Purdue, though, at home. Both teams solid, though. Both teams coming into the year should have solid years. I got to see a little bit more with this game. I have no opinion at this point. Wake Forest, Tulane. This line keeps plummeting. Tulane down under a touchdown at this point. 61 on a total. So Tulane is a home dog. Kendall Hinton suspended, the quarterback for Wake. Tulane, I'm interested in. I like this team. I think offensively they're going to be good under Willie Fritz. I think they're going to move the ball. I think they have some question marks defensively, though. That's my big concern with the Green Wave. But they're at home here. Listen, I think if you wanted Tulane, I think you waited a bit too long. You should try to find them at 7. At least you have that little cushion there in the case that it's a 7-point game. I think Tulane's the play in this game. There's just too many issues that Wake have right now. Plus, it's a road game. And look, Wake is a bad team on defense. Last few games of the season, they were giving up like 40 points a game. Were the Demon Deacons had a lot of question marks. Just too many suspensions, though. I can't go crazy with them. You lose some key tacklers as well. I think the run game will have some success here for Tulane. I think they hang within the number here. I don't know if they'll win, but I think they hang within the number here. So go over some comments here. If you have any, please feel free to send them in. I'm not going over every game here, guys. With plenty of yeah, I know Vermonte's good team. I said that earlier. Um, can I get a recap of the future bets you made Sunday? Yeah, I made a couple. I bet on Jake Browning to win the Heisman at 30-1. I bet that at Golden Nugget. I have the tickets, and then I bet Virginia to win the college basketball tournament, 15-1. Let me go through here some comments. I think Middlesbrough, even with a few people out, will still beat Rochdale. Do you use intertops for NCAA football and basketball? I don't. I've used that book. It's a good book. Um, Speaking of Vegas, are you a Tupac fan? No, not really. I mean, I like some of his songs. I mean, listen, if you're a rap guy, you respect Tupac. Do I respect his personal decisions in his life? No. I think he's a I think he's a fake and a phony, frankly. This is a guy that is an East Coaster, but went out and pretended he was a West Coaster. Um, you are who you are. So, no, I don't like his. I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have liked him like on a personal level. I just don't like certain things that he did. But look, from a music perspective, I don't think you can really ever say the guy wasn't talented. Um, I was more of a Biggie guy. I'm more of like a if you know me, I'm more of a street kind of rap guy. I like really hardcore stuff. Like I want to hear about guns and drugs and 4 pounds and you know throwing people off roofs and shit. I don't want to hear about you know like he was more of a socially conscious rapper. He rapped about a lot of things that like he was kind of like your modern day J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, those kind of guys. I'm more of a Styles P, Jada Kiss, Beanie Siegel kind of guy. I don't like club records. And for me, once a rapper goes to that level, like Meek has had that problem. Meek has went from a street guy to a club record guy. And I find myself going back to the old Meek. I look at the Flamers 1, Flamers 2, um, you know, the DJ Difference mixtapes. Those are that's the kind of stuff that I like. Um, Listen, if you're from the West Coast, I respect you. That's where you're from. When you have a guy that was an East Coaster and he goes out to the West Coast, come on. Exactly, Walter. There you go. You can't respect that. Look, if you're a poodle hanging out with German shepherds, doesn't make you a German shepherd. You're still a poodle. Be who you are. Doesn't matter if I go out and live in South Central for 40 years. I'm not from there. I can be from there. That could be where I live at, but you're always from where you're from, man. 130 NCAA football teams. Liberty's ranked lowest. I don't think they're the lowest team. I think they're the lowest team on merit because they're coming in and they're the newest team. This is a team going from FCS to FBS. Um, and I, listen, I don't think they're the worst team. I think they're a decent team. They'll have their growing pains. I think the worst team in the country is probably I don't know. UTEP's pretty bad. Charlotte, they're pretty bad. Um, I mean, obviously Liberty. I mean, Liberty is going to struggle because um, they're an independent trying to make their way, really. So they're going to hurt. DJ Big Boss checking in. Welcome in, man. Met him out at the IFBC. What a great guy he is as well. Funny guy. Um, always like seeing DJ Big Boss. Do you guys like FAU? Um, I like the over in that game. I think there's a ton of points there. Let's look at a few soccer games here. We got about 7 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap it up. Get Champions League today. We had no real opportunity. I know they did a video yesterday on the channels here. I would urge you to check that out. I was in the air, so I didn't get to see it, but I'm going to check it out after the show. These fixtures I don't particularly like. I will say I do like Zagreb at home against Young Boys. The Young Boys are a team that are good at home, but always struggle on the road in Europe. That's one thing you must understand about Young Boys. They struggle away from home. They got to go into Croatia and take on a really good Zagreb team. I think Zagreb beats them. I like them at 2.2 here, so plus 120. I think that's a pretty good bet. Kiev, Ajax, no opinion. Ike Athens against Movidi. Movidi out of Hungary. Don't have much there. Only like one game in those fixtures. Um, EFL Cup. I said to all of you, EFL Cup is crazy. A lot of goals in this league. And you try to highlight mismatches. That's where I try to look. Or you try to find value. Okay, so you look at a team like, let's say here, Blackburn Rovers against Lakin City. Blackburn Rovers overachieving this year, playing well in the championship. Blackburn Rovers have started out hot. They're hanging in games. They're playing well. You look at the standings in the championship. Blackburn are fifth right now. They have a season to worry about in that league. I would think this would be something that they would want to rest a little bit with. I don't think Lincoln City is a terrible bet here. Am I going to take them to win this game? No. But I think in a handicap roll at +1, I don't think they get blown out here. +1, you get plus money on that. I think they can hang in this game. Lincoln City are a good team in League Two. They're probably one of the best teams in League Two. And this is a time where you try to highlight some of those teams here. They would be a team I'd look at here. Your question in these games are, do these teams care about this tournament? And that's why people like Flash are really important, because Flash Watson knows these teams. He knows a lot of the managers. He knows a lot of the opinion on if they care about this match. When you look at the EFL Cup, the EFL Cup is basically a cup in England that they vie for, and you have to find teams that are generally in the middle of the table, that aren't going to win the league. We're still early in the season, so teams still think they can win the league. But when I look at tournaments like this, I'm looking for teams in the middle of the leagues. Teams like Brighton, that they're a team, someone like them, or in the championship. I'm looking at I don't know, a Hull City, a team like that. Leicester, QPR. QPR is not winning this league. They have to learn about just staying up. I'm not looking for some of the big boys. So there's kind of your tip on EFL. EFL stands for English Football League, by the way. The Carabao Cup, I believe. So yeah, I would say that the goals will be on the menu in this tournament. They always are. You look at the fixtures last week. Couple other ones. I think Brentford Cheltenham. That should be a pretty high scoring match. Total's high though. I think someone touted that out on the chat. That should be a pretty high scoring match. Cardiff looked pretty good today against Norwich. Cardiff, a team obviously that will be vying to win this tournament. They're at home. I think they should be able to beat Norwich. Norwich, a team that can't defend. Cardiff are just a better side. Neil Warnock knows Norwich. We should be able to beat them. Fulham, Exeter. Exeter are a good team as well, but they're stepping up and they're going to Craven Cottage to take on a team in Fulham that are a Premier League team. That's a tough one. Like I said, I like Middlesbrough against Rochdale, but that number continues to plummet. I'll tell you what, we'll do a two-team double. We'll do a two-team hacker here, two-team parlay. We'll go Middlesbrough, and we'll go with let's go with one other one here. I'm not a big parlay guy, but for the boys here, we will do one. Let's do call. What do we got? Let's see what this pays. No, too little. Not gonna do that. Let's find one here. We'll do Middlesbrough and you know what? I like the way this Walsall team's playing. I'll go Walsall and Middlesbrough. Pays plus 155. There you go. Walsall at home against Macclesfield. Macclesfield really struggling. I like Walsall. They're flying high right now. They're playing well. Do we want to do them? I'll tell you what. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Walsall and Middlesbrough. Little two-team parlay for the boys here. Have fun with that. Thank you, Paco. Appreciate that. Like Athens or video, Tom? No one. Hard to get into soccer, so don't get into it. We like it. Middlesbrough and Dundalk. Not betting Ireland. Summer's over. Ireland no more. So yeah, that'll be that, boys. Fun show. Not really structured. We didn't have any segments or anything, but first day back from IFBC. Great trip. Great time. Can't wait to do it again. I really didn't want to leave. It was that fun. I had a great time with everyone. It was cool knowing that every morning you could go down to the book and you'd see someone there, and whether it was a forum poster or a listener or just a capper or something. It was a great time. Really enjoyed myself. I hope to do it again very soon. Everyone have a great day. Support all the shows here on the channel. I'll be back later today. We'll do Europa League. Alex and I will be doing that a little bit later. Also, I will be, I believe, filling in for Gabe Morency tonight. I'm going to try to get Ian Cameron on. So we'll kind of be there to chat about all the war stories from IFBC. Yes, Lincoln City looks decent today. I don't think it's out of the question to give them a little knock here today. Thanks, Lamont. Thanks, Walter. Thanks, Troy. Thanks, Bisham, Steve, David, Ulysses, everybody in the chat. Thanks for all your comments. A lot of people watching. Do me a favor before you leave us today, hit the like button. And thank you to Freddie behind the camera for helping us out today. Gary, what's up, Gaz, man? We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Catch me then. I'm the big man on campus. I'm out. Have a great day.